Hey Freedom Lovers, this is Dr. Peterson Pierre with America's Frontline Doctors, bringing you today's Daily Dose. On June 18th, the U.S. Supreme Court handed the American people a long overdue victory. In United States versus Scarametti, the court upheld Tennessee's ban on so-called gender-affirming care for minors, or as ethical doctors call it, medical mutilation. This is what the medical establishment tries to deny. Puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and transgender surgeries are not care. They're child butchery. These interventions cause sterility, anorgasmia, osteoporosis, blood clots, heart damage, and lifelong regret. These harms are not reversible, contrary to claims by gender activists. The medical industrial complex falsely claims these procedures affirm identity. They do quite the opposite. By halting puberty, they arrest development and trap children in gender confusion. Puberty is not a disease, it's the cure. Left alone, 98% of gender-confused youth grow out of it. But when medical professionals intervene, the child is sentenced to a life robbed of normalcy, fertility, and joy. Furthermore, children cannot give informed consent to these procedures. They cannot understand what it means to be permanently sterile. That's why federal law prohibits even temporary sterilization procedures like tubal ligations in women under 21. Parents can't consent to this on a child's behalf either, because no law gives someone the right to consent to medically mutilate another person. Justice Clarence Thomas pointed to a leaked recording from the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, also known as WPATH, the very group pushing these procedures. In the recording, a WPATH endocrinologist admits, quote, "The thing you have to remember about kids is that we're often explaining these sorts of things to people who haven't even had biology in high school yet. It's always a good theory that you talk about fertility preservation with a 14-year-old, but I know I'm talking to a blank wall," end quote. Justice Thomas wrote, quote, "Analogizing a teenage patient's comprehension to that of a blank wall should raise serious concerns regarding the patient's ability to provide informed consent," end quote. This is a historic win for children, for parents, for America, for medical ethics, for reality, for freedom. The U.S. is among the last developed nations still permitting this grotesque experiment on minors. Even the UK, where dissent on gender ideology can land you in jail, has pulled back. But here in the US, the medical industrial complex clings to it. Predictably, the legacy media called the decision devastating. Trans predators, who are basically medical providers who subject children to medical mutilation procedures, are mourning the loss. Of course, they're losing billions of dollars. Justices Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson dissented. They would have forced every state to allow child mutilation. Not surprising, the AMA has betrayed medical ethics a long time ago. The media defends corruption, and some members of our highest court are still willing to let children be butchered in the name of ideology. Reprehensible, deplorable, disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, only the truth will set you free. Stay tuned for the next Daily Dose.